Hi, everybody. Welcome to Physics 3301, which is differential equations for scientists and engineers. I'm Katrin Schenk, and I'm your professor. And I wanted to give you a little heads up video about how this is all going to work. Okay, so what I'm looking at right now is our Moodle site. And the way that you can get onto Moodle is you go to moodle.randolphcollege.edu, and you log in with the first part of your email address at Randolph College. So for instance, my email address is kshank@randolphcollege.edu. So I log in with kshank, and then my password for my Randolph College email. Okay, so this is kind of the central place you're going to look for our class, and it's going to have links to our homework system, which is WebAssign. Okay, but this is our central place. All right, now this is the professor view. It's not the student view. It's going to look a little different for you. So right now, this is the general course information page. It'll have the syllabus. It'll have a link to this video here, but I haven't made it yet. I'm making it right now. It says about when the office hours are and how to contact me. Now, you can send me an email or you can text me. I do prefer texts over calls. I won't get back to you on texts if you text me late at night until the morning. So don't expect me to, reply back at 2 in the morning or something. Okay. Now, if you want to write me an email, that's great too. I check my email all the time. If you write a big, long, complicated email, you can even text me and say, hey, heads up, I just sent you an email about a question. Now, please identify yourself on the texts and what class you're in. Okay, because I teach a few classes here at Randolph. All right. So we also have the Zoom link for office hours, and here's our link to WebAssign. Now, the first time you click on this, it's going to look different from what I'm going to show you because it's going to ask you to sign up for WebAssign, but let's click on it. Let's open another tab. Take a little bit here. Takes a little while. It's going to auto log me in because I already have WebAssign, etc. It'll look a little like this, and the assignments won't show up unless till the first day of class, but I'll look at the future assignments and you can see all the assignments. The first one here is due the first day of class. Okay, the getting started with WebAssign, which is just how to use WebAssign if you haven't used it before, or a refresher if you have. Do that first day. So make sure you're on that and you buy WebAssign and you get all set up. Okay. All right, so let's go back and look at the structure here. So we also have a supplementary text. So this also WebAssign will come with the book, by the way, if you didn't already know that. Comes with this particular book. And we have a supplementary text, which is really recommended because the more you practice differential equations, the better you will get. And this is very cheap. Kindle edition is like $14. It's a great investment. I would get it. And then a calendar, which it just hopefully will keep you organized. When it says homework chapter 1, etc., that's when they're due. So like this getting started with WebAssign is due that first day right away. Okay. And then we have 2 tests and a final. I'll show you more about that. Let's look at a typical week. Okay, first we start with the to-do list, which tells you what to do. So for instance, getting started with WebAssign, due Monday the 22nd by midnight, right? The next thing you should do is watch the lecture on chapter 1. That's right here. That's chapter 1. It's actually not all of chapter 1. It's sections 1.1 and 1.2. And I would watch that lecture and then go do the homework, the chapter 1 homework problems that are for those sections that you just watched a lecture on. That keeps it all fresh in your mind. You go directly to some practice. I think that's the best way to approach this. And then do the same thing for lecture 2, which is on more sections of chapter 1 and some sections of chapter 2, right? So it sort of tells you what you should do. And then you got to finish up that homework and submit it by the 26th by midnight, okay? And this is how this goes. And you can see there's lectures on chapter 2. Basically, it's 2 chapters per week. Okay. All right. And you can see there's more lectures. And I also point you to the section of the Shams outline book where you could do some practice on the stuff we just learned about. Okay. Kind of do that for every single piece here. Okay. Let's keep going down. I'm going to show you one of the tests. So we're going to go to week 3, and we have our first test. And if you scroll down to the bottom, due by June 11th, you'll see the test here. Now, here's the deal. These tests have a 3-hour time limit. The final has a 4-hour time limit. So you don't click on this and start it because the time will start and then you have to finish it. Okay. Right. So don't really look at it now because it's going to start a timer. Okay, but once you're ready, go ahead. Now, this is open book, open notes, but don't look stuff up on the internet or use another human. Now, of course, if your book is an ebook, you can look at the book, right, on the internet, but don't go looking up the question or use another human. Okay, those are the rules. All right, so if we go down to week 4, we have another test. Gets a little fast and furious here. Week 5 is very light, and then there's the final exam, which you can see here, you could click on, but if you do, right, you're gonna, when you click on it, it'll ask if you want to start. So if you push to start, you got 4 hours and that's it. So don't click on this until you're ready. And then there's this extra credit upload area. Now there's 2 ways to get extra credit. Scratch paper from your exams, because the exams are multiple choice. If you have scratch paper where you did the problems, be very neat, because you can turn that in as extra credit. And the Shams outline work. If you do work in your Shams outline, write those down on a piece of paper, be very neat. And take pictures of it and upload it here for extra credit. Okay. I think that's really all you need to know. And I want to mention here that it's very important to take this class very seriously. I know it's very quick. So when something's very quick, there's the risk of it not really getting into your head, right? But I want you to think of this as your crash course in a language that you're going to need for the rest of your career, right? This is for scientists and engineers. Differential equations and calculus. They are the language of science and engineering. It's as if you went to a country, you were going to a country to take a job and you had to speak a foreign language and no one spoke English. You would pay a lot of attention in your language class before you went, right? Because you know your job depends on it, right? So think of it this way. This stuff is not just a math class to pass and could check off on a list of classes you have to take. This is the language that you need for the rest of your career. So even though it's a short class, try to get it in your head and realize that you're going to come back to it and back to it and back to it. Okay. Well, I hope you have fun in class and hope you guys get started. Make sure that you don't get behind, because that's kiss of death in a 5-week class. All right. Well, we'll talk to you more in class, maybe at office hours or via text.